let Anthony talk on this a little bit first before I go in and, spit my shit. But I'm going to let Anthony talk about this just a quick bit. Now, go ahead and explain to people about this whole, not respecting each other's opinion.
It comes back, and I don't know how deep I'm going to go in the rabbit hole, so I'm going to tread lightly. Yeah. When we're talking on certain subjects, we always can fall into a rabbit hole and go deep. Mm-hmm. What people fail to realize in any modern day, at any time frame, at any year, is that you have to be able to allow yourself to listen to what the other person is saying. Regardless if they're right, wrong, or indifferent, you have to allow it. Well, the problem that we're having and facing, especially in 2020, is that the rights by the Constitution, if I'm speaking on correctly, the freedom of speech has elevated to another level just based on the fact that you don't have to wait to see somebody face to face. Back in the day, I can't say what I got to say. I got to wait to see you to your face. Phone lines come on now or call you. Cell phones come and play. Now I can text or call you. We're not worried about face-to-face now. I'll say what I got to say via internet. What that has done is given people this power to allow themselves to not only say what they got to say, but allow their words to be what they feel is correct. Again, everybody is allowed their own opinions and feel how they feel. However, when you put yourself into a broad stream or something like that in the social media world, you have to allow yourself to accept what's going to come with that. You can't say all green apples are nasty and expect the person that loves green apples not to come on there and be like, you're a fool. Green apples are amazing, and y'all going to have a basically back and forth with that. We could take this any which way. The election, relationships, friendships, parenting. I mean, this can go any which way. And a lot of it probably stems from the conditioning of children, adolescents, not being allowed to express their personal feelings as a youth and their personal opinions on something. Not saying that a child saying, Mom, I don't want to go X, Y, and Z is being disrespectful. That's just the child saying, Mom, I'm really not feeling this. And again, we could take this any which way and how we want to verse it. But when you come down to your adulthood, 18 or older, necessarily 21 or older, and when you're getting older, 25 and up, opinions don't matter to anybody else. They feel what I said is what I said, and that's what it is. And whether you like it or not, this is how I feel. Where the issue comes up, again, is that they feel they want to say something, and nobody's allowed to say nothing back to them about how they feel what they're saying is either correct or incorrect. The deeper things go of the root, a lot of people don't realize over time, you shut your brain off from learning things and understanding things. If you don't steer your pathway and you're reading, what you're watching, what you're listening to, who you're hanging around, I mean, there's probably a few more, but we'll touch those on the basis. You keep yourself in that particular category where hearing other people's opinions and accepting other people's opinions become nothing but an argument for you when you entertain it. And that goes to the mental side of everything. So I'm not going to touch base with that. I'm not a psychologist or any type of doctorate, but that is, out of understanding, you read a couple books, you're going to understand, you know what, I get where he's coming from. So what I'm basically saying to people is you have the right to your opinion, freedom of speech, however you want to draw that up. But when you allow your freedom of speech to be placed into a social media network, into a broadband, or out into a cloud, or however you want to label that, you have to expect that you're going to get a backlash of other people's opinions, and it's not going to always agree with you. You can have 10 comments, and 90% of them are going to be against you. The 10% that's with you, going to ride with you, but it's going to go left or right based on your response. And everything comes down to controlling your response and having the utmost understanding that it's not what was said, it's how I respond. That's just like a football terminology. It's not the fact that he clipped me and the ref didn't see it. It's the fact that when the ref did see it, I was over here and had him in the headlock throwing jabs. I'm talking about the Saints and the Bears. If anybody watched that clip, the receiver, 2 times. We don't care what happened beforehand. We saw you run up to him and smack him. The difference is the moment at which you responded and how you respond.
Exactly. Now, I'm glad you brought up on a lot of that, because one of the biggest things that I've been talking to people about is, you guys, a lot of you guys know me as a strategic manager and a person who works with startups, but for the last 19 years to even right now, I run an accountability coaching firm with other coaches. Our key responsibility is to help people be responsible for their life, and making sure that people understand their why factors: spirituality, health, family, friends, profession, environment, and impact. The key thing to each one of these levels that we learned was emotional intelligence. And I think when I saw your post, the key thing that it hit me was that you saw something 3 years ago, that we was not in the political climate that we're in right now. We was not in the injustice climate that we're in. And right now, these people are not using their emotional intelligence when it comes down to their response. Your opinion is your opinion, but when you decide to put it on a public platform, you've opened the door for other people to come in and tell you their opinion. When we look at things before social media, people didn't have this platform to say whatever they felt like. And what happened with social media now, the smallest person with 1,000, 5,000, 1,000,000 followers, whatever, can now go to their group, share their opinion. And because of the emotional tie these people have with those people, they believe exactly what they're saying. As I go through and I stroll Facebook and I look at the different different comments and stuff, to realize that a lot of the people who are sharing their opinion, Anthony, it isn't even their opinion. It is a combination of opinions of a whole bunch of other stuff they've seen on Facebook, and it's them reformulating what they saw, and then this is their opinion. Facebook, Instagram, and all of these platforms has got to a point that people are losing who they are and their own identity because they don't have this emotional intelligence. The first thing in Facebook also is the puppetry. Algorithms, which most people don't even know when they're jumping on boards because they're not developers. Your algorithms of what you like, your biases, the AI will continuously give you and feed you exactly what it is that you click on, like on, comment on, and it even reads every word that you have inside of a comment and literally takes all of the advertisement and even your friends. It selectively picks your friends and relate word based on what you're responding to. People got an opinion and they get upset. People are really not even getting upset about their real, true own opinion. It's honestly a calculated opinion of a whole bunch of stuff that they've all soaked in and said, well, this is the best, and this is the best, and I am the best. So this is the reason why I got a divided country. Case in point, 2.8 million people here on, 2.8 billion people here on Facebook. They use this platform. Me and you are probably one of the few people inside of our friendships that actually own stock in Facebook. So when we're sitting here sharing our opinion, we're getting paid. It's a big difference.
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying? It's a gigantic difference to people who are just spitting out what they feel. And spitting all of this on Facebook, you never thought about, buying a couple shares of Facebook, and actually owning the platform that you're saying what you need to say. And everybody has an opinion, but is it an educated one? Is it a wealthy opinion when you're on a platform? Yes, certain shit that you say, you need to say that behind closed doors, not on Facebook. You feel me? Like, I feel like right
Absolutely.
now, Anthony, I feel that people have lost their moral values and ethics on how to balance between their opinion publicly and their opinion privately. Like Gary Vee says, no one gives a fuck about your feelings but you. And especially now in this day and age, it's funny to me. I mean, I will go and you attack them with facts. Now let's talk about facts. Most people are getting their facts for their opinion from Facebook. Or they're going to Google.
How factual is that?
Or they're going
How
to
factual
Google.
is that?
Okay, yeah. Think about this. And most of them are going to Instagram, and then most of them are really not reading a newspaper. reading an article of people's opinion. They're honestly just watching what they're being disposed to through video. Just find your own facts, discover your own facts, and what might shock you. And I know this won't shock you, Anthony. You might have to pick a book up. You remember those things called a book? The thick, it had paper and stuff, but you had to flip it
Hardbacks,
open.
paperbacks.
Yeah, you remember that? And you gotta highlight it and stuff. You and have someone that you can be open enough to share your opinion, no matter how you feel, and that person's gonna smile and respect you, and they share their opinion, you're gonna smile and respect them. That's what America is all about, you know? And you really got me there. I think what really got me was 3 years ago. The climate wasn't even like this. You know, we wasn't in our Black Lives Matter mode and, you know, our Trumpers mode and whatever you want to call it, each one of the different little groups. I don't identify with no group. I identify with the group called Shawn Randleman, just like he identified with the group called Anthony Thompson. Like, we only identify with our groups, you know? I got my own group. I think that people are so worried about issues that are miles and miles away from them, not realizing the issues that are going on right in their house.
Ooh.
Like, they're sharing stuff on Facebook. And I look at stuff, you know, like me and your stories, all positive, you know. We're encouraging people. Then you go and look at other people's stories. It's either political, injustice, criminal this happened, and it's funny because a lot of this stuff is happening miles away from them. And they're not even worried about what's going on in their own city. Just say your opinion, say whatever you feel like. And I'm gonna respect it. Just don't go and jump on my wall. And then when I tell you my opinion, you don't like it, you know? So guys, worry about your own house. Change starts at home. Just remember that. Change starts at home first. Stop trying to tell your neighbor what to do when your house not in order. That's what my mama would tell y'all. My mother said, how in the world can you have an opinion on the world if your own house is not in order? So my challenge to every last one of you guys, get your house in order. Much love. I got to go. My partner